Wanted to get some of your thoughts.
Well, Larry Lincoln is an icon in this business, and I'm sure after he leaves, he'll still remain an icon in the business. It's part of the soul of our music business in the marketplace, and we all hate to see him go, but we're happy for him going and doing what he wants. But it's going to be a tough pair of shoes to fill. Larry was always totally devoted to the business, day and night. Anytime I talked to him, and anytime he could help me when I was at Yamaha or at Fender, he was always there to do it with NAMM. I enjoyed a very fine 3 years on the board of directors under his tutelage and understand how NAMM works. And due to him, I am now a full supporter of NAMM. So I wish him the best. And when he gets on that boat playing his clarinet, I've asked him to tell me what boat it is because I want to go with him. Thank you.
Discourage him.
My educational program. I have to fight with Joe Lamont to get it now.
Yeah, the Lamont guy the other day.
Yeah. Tell us your thoughts about Joe. Well, let's wait for him to leave. And then...
No. Joe's a good guy. I'll let you know after the January board meeting. No, thank you.
Okay. Well, as we said earlier, let's start with how you got first involved with the music products industry.
Well, I started years ago in the repair business in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. I was a player, and I knew I wasn't going anywhere as a player. And I had graduated, and I went to school to learn to repair musical instruments because at that time there was a real shortage of people. I worked through there, worked from a number of companies, had my own business, and then went and ran Lion Healy's repair department for 13 stores that they had that time. Lion Healy, as you know, was big at that time. From there, I worked with another gentleman and ran their school music program. And then I crossed over into the guitar business with the Fred Gretsch Company. And after I learned the guitar business under Duke Kramer, I went to Yamaha. A good friend of mine, Ed Garbett, had left before me, and a year later I followed him into Yamaha as a salesman. So I was exposed to selling guitars at that time. So I traveled 13 Midwestern states and sold band instruments, guitars, and drums. Eventually at Yamaha I moved into sales manager and then eventually vice president of YMP, the manufacturing arm in the States for Yamaha. Well, at that time, I moved from California, Yamaha's home base, to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and my wife didn't particularly care for going back to Grand Rapids. So I got a call from CBS, John McLaren, to come and work for Fender. Fortunately, I still had my home there, and it was a very easy move back. So I got involved in the guitar business at that time, but the mechanical skills I had from band instruments allowed me to participate in the factory very strongly. And I have a love for equipment and machinery, and I had many contacts from Japan. So I carried those contacts over and was developing a complete line of entry-level guitars when CBS decided to sell. At that time, I had a long-term contract with CBS, so I used my contract, mortgaged my house, cashed in life insurance, put enough money together, and then went out and found some private investors that we could buy Fender. From there on, it will start with a $10 million loss up until where we are today, where we're very profitable. So that's the history. I didn't know what I was doing. Perhaps if I did, I wouldn't have done it.
What did you see the biggest factor of the turnaround at Fender?
Well, first of all, the quality of the product. The CBS allowed the quality and the products to become obsolete, and the combination of the two, it was just atrocious. And people were buying it because at that time there was a big movement on in guitars. They would buy them just no matter what they were, put them in their own shops, fix them, and then sell them. So CBS was very good to me. They gave me around $3 million to buy new equipment for the factory, a new computer, put a roof on the building, and supported it. And we had a whole new catalog being developed. I had 50-some people in R&D. We had this whole new catalog being developed. I had a whole new line from overseas coming when they decided to sell. So the turnaround was the quality emphasis we put on the program. We still have today, and the people. People, as everybody knows, it's not a cliche, people make the business. And we had that, and then we started with no manufacturing at all and moved to the city of Corona and had one little building where we were going to build 12 guitars a day. Out of our new factory, which has expanded, we now build 400 a day. And we have a Mexican facility where we build another 700 a day. From there on, we import from all over the world. And we do have our guild facility up in Westerly, where we do 50 guitars a day. Our custom shop is like a little factory of its own. They do 40 a day. And now I have a custom shop here in Nashville, which we're just starting to gear up, making the Bob Benedetto guitar and the professional guilds. And so we're starting to gear that up now to work in the marketplace.
Was the Corona shop for purposes of expansion, or were there other reasons for that?
The existing facility?
Yeah.
Well, we grew from one building to 12 buildings, all different buildings. And we had dollies and carts running all over the place and scratching instruments. And we decided that we needed, AQMD helped us decide, air quality, that we needed a modern facility, one that was totally climate controlled, one that we could shoot the air back outside. It was cleaner than the air that was out there. So we made a huge investment of around $19 million. And we probably have one of the most modern factories in the world today there. We've equipped it. The state helped us cross-train people. We have ongoing training programs going on. And we're the sweetheart of California for air quality control.
And I was under the impression that that shop also did some custom shop work
Yes.
at the beginning. Is it still?
We still have a large section dedicated to our custom shop there. At one time, we had the custom shop off by itself, but when we climatized this building and we have perfect control over the weather conditions, it was wise to move that in and enjoy, those features of the building. So
Great. And California likes you too, so.
we're the clean air sweethearts.
Tell us a little bit about Leo Fender.
Well, naturally, none of us would be here today if it wasn't for Leo Fender. And unfortunately, I did not get to know Leo that well because he had left CBS. And although we greeted each other and we talked at trade shows, I was never able to get close to Leo. Purposely, I was kept away, I believe, because I wanted Leo to come back with us and say, Leo's coming home. And his wife liked that idea, but there was always a group that kept me from getting too close and talking to Leo. The man in the music business was a genius, innovator, creative. He never quit tinkering. He always had something new ready to go. And he loved the business, and he loved the people in the business. From talking to his wife and talking to some of the older people we have that have been, that started with Leo, like Billy Carson, who you just talked to, and Freddie Tavares, who passed away. He was just, the guys worshipped him for what he knew and what he did.
And how is it that you have implemented some of the concepts that Leo started that you have, that the company has perpetuated throughout the years?
Well, Leo fussed for quality, and he fussed for innovation. And, creative and make the product better. His products never were fully developed. His products were always on the move. And I think we've instilled in our R&D people that same feeling. It's never good enough. Just because you have a banner year, don't think that product now you can rest on your laurels. What can we do to make it better next year? And go on. And as you see, we just completed an evolution of our flagship, the American series.
Right, tell us about that.
Well, what that is, for many years, people would always come to us and say, oh, if you only had this and you only had that, and if you did this, and we listened and listened. And in the meantime, we put a program in to really train our people. Now, the things we have on that guitar are as good as things that come out of the custom shop. But the key is training the people to be able to handle that and have the equipment to do it. We finally challenged our factory to do this, and they did it. We can get the beautiful rolled edges, the spatially installed frets, the contours. We can get all those things that everybody has asked us for now. And we don't laminate bodies anymore. We use the choice wood. And hopefully people will understand, like they do other companies, that when you get a little sunken grain, that's good. That's not bad. So we're using, the best of material, and we have the best spray paint department that's available. So the guitar, you have to play it, pick it up, feel it, to realize the changes and the value of it. A player can tell you. Right now, they're telling us, everybody that comes in, but they really can't tell you why. And there's nothing real significant that you can really come out and hang your hat on. It's just evolved into a better playing guitar for the musician.